Hello, everybody. That was a brilliant session, I think, by Heike. Very interesting. We look at quantum computing a lot. We work a lot with IBM. Very interesting work going on. So, as we just said, I'm currently running Bank of Scotland, which is one of the brands that's under the Lloyds Banking Group umbrella. We have a lot of different brands. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about how we are responding to what you've been hearing about all day, what we're seeing all around us, digital disruption. It's sometimes referred to as the fourth industrial revolution, and it really is all-encompassing. No industry or individual will remain untouched. We can see that digital disruption is impacting global economies, and financial services is no exception. I think it presents lots of challenges for organizations like us, but also a huge amount of opportunities. Digital disruption is for sure the great democratizer of our time. It allows you and me, customers, unprecedented access to information and to services, and it's changing business models in that where traditionally, for example, something like scale would just give you automatic advantages in the marketplace, this is not the case anymore. It really pays to be nimble currently, and I think what we can all see is the organizations that are very focused on being customer-centric, these are the organizations that will survive and will thrive. And you know, to the points that were made by both the speakers earlier, harnessing data to understand customer needs is really critical, and technology enables you to do that at a speed and a pace that we haven't seen before. Lloyds Banking Group, we have been around for 300 years. So don't gasp too much, don't recoil in horror, but yes, we have quite a rich heritage, and this could be seen, you know, in some quarters as a monolithic legacy organization, traditional organization, but that would be, I think, short-sighted. We've been around for 300 years because we're able to evolve, and we've encountered many issues along the way, all of which we've been able to overcome, thrive, adapt. So we are working at a very fast pace. We're investing significant amounts of money in digitizing our capabilities and digitizing our services to our customers, but we recognize there's lots of models out there in the market. Some of them are tech-savvy, digital-only models, but we're very proud to have a multi-channel offering for customers. So they can kind of choose how they interact with us, and we are very focused on building and maintaining and deepening personal relationships with customers that are enabled by technology, but not led by it. We have a customer base of 25 million customers. So in an environment where data is often referred to as the new oil, this is quite an asset to have. We are constantly looking at ways to leverage this asset to make our interactions with our customers more meaningful and to provide services that will delight and surprise them. But we face into big questions with access to this kind of data. You know, things like, if you see spending patterns that are falling outside what you would consider normal patterns, should you intervene? Should you say something to the customer? If you see spending on things like gambling, even things like fast food, late night spending, should you give a nudge? Should you intervene? We don't have the answers. I don't think society has the answers. But with great power comes great responsibility, as the old adage goes. So the organizations in our position, and there are many who have access to this type of data, we need to have that debate around, you know, using it in a responsible way. Yes, there are commercial elements to it, but also we all have responsibilities to the people whose data we have access to. But as I said earlier, we are very focused on using our data to enhance our relationships with our customers. And I'll just talk you through a couple of things we've done with data. One of which is we've worked very hard on this. We're using a lot of technology to be able to do this, but we now are able to identify patterns of behavior that will give us an indication as to a customer's status in terms of whether they're vulnerable or not. And this is very valuable because it means that we can identify vulnerable customers and we can implement the appropriate treatment strategy. We can, that allows us really to work with our customers throughout their unique set of requirements and really be by the side. And vulnerability is interesting. It's not really a static thing. It can change at any point with anybody. So we've got to stay scanning our customer base to make sure that we stay on top of this. Another thing that we're doing, which is one of my favorite things that we do with our data, is we do our digital indexes. So we do a consumer one, we do a business one, and we do a charity one. I'll talk a bit about the consumer one. How we build this is we use a very rich set of our data based on over 1 million of our customers. We use this data, both transactional and behavioural, to build a picture of the digital skills and capabilities in the UK. So this is then used by government agencies to influence policy. It's used in academia. It's used across industries. In fact, our 2019 Consumer Index provided the business case for what is now the Digital Skills Entitlement Fund. And this fund is targeted at people from marginalised or disadvantaged backgrounds to enable them to get funding to build a skill set that allows them to fully participate in the digital economy, i.e. to work in the digital economy. And just to give you some insights as to what we found with this index, which I thought, this is 2019 findings. We have in the UK 11.9 million people who do not have the appropriate digital skills for life or work. So think about that, 11.9 million adults. We have 6 million people who have never switched on a device. So it sounds incredible because we're all, so we live with it, so it's so pandemic in our lives, but actually this is the reality. So it's important to obviously embrace digital, but also to remember not everybody is adopting at the same pace. And when we're designing our products and services, we have to be very cognizant of this because, we're not in the business of financial exclusion, which you could do if you design products that are digital only, because there are a very significant set of customers out there who want to interact in a different way. So I think we will look at our findings of our own research. We've looked at the findings of our indexes every year, and as a result of that, we have what we call our Lloyds Bank Academy, where you can access digital skills at any level and get some training. And we also have 23,000 digital champions across the country that will help locally to build digital skills. So I think the significance of our data is pretty clear, but so is the importance of protecting it. And I think everybody will be familiar with cyber. This is something that every organization is really grappling with. We see it hits the front page anytime there's an issue. It's such a reputationally damaging situation for an organization to be involved in. So in the UK, we're helping to set the standard for security. We're part of what's called the UK Critical National Infrastructure. And this is basically a collection of systems, infrastructures, buildings, etc., that keep the light on, that provide essential services across the UK. It involves water, energy, financial services, telco, those types of organisations. And we all work together to continually scan the landscape, to share information, and to think through how we can, and of course we work with law enforcement agencies as well, thinking through how can we stay current and potentially one step ahead of the threat landscape, which is increasingly sophisticated, increasingly diverse. And as the industry continues to digitize, the number of cyber attacks will increase and are increasing. We're seeing that. And I think some of the speakers mentioned earlier how collaboration is actually becoming a really important part of the ecosystem. And for us, that is definitely true. So we will work with our peers because cyber is not a competitive issue. It's one where we need to collaborate. We'll work with our peers. We'll work with fintechs. We work with tech organizations. We work with academia to work on innovative solutions to try and stay one step ahead or at least current of where the cyber criminals are. So a very lively space. But just moving back to customers for a moment. The other thing that's striking in the current environment is the fact that we see this homogenization of behavior, this convergence of expectations with our customers. So back in the good old days, we were just compared to our peers, but that's not the case anymore. We will be compared to our peers, but we will also be compared across industries. So you've got, we will be compared to the likes of Uber, Facebook, Amazon, etc. Our customers expect that kind of unencumbered access to our services. And this is, again, also disrupting many traditional business models, not just in financial services, but across industries. So, the traditional 9-to-5 type operating model, that just does not meet expectations anymore. Customers want and expect a 24/7 access, multi-channel. And, we are working, as I said, we're working on one of the biggest transformations in financial services to invest, to make sure we're offering that to our customers. But again, I think this is where our heritage offers us significant advantages. So we have over 15 million digital customers. That is quite a large amount of digital customers. We know from research that people are spending more and more time online, whether we think that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's what's happening. So we, with over 15 million customers spending more and more time online, have an unprecedented opportunity to interact with our customers. And again, this is something that technology, and we're building out infrastructures to enable that. I think service has never been so important, and we're working on building out services that will delight our customers. And one thing we've worked on recently is our single customer view, which if you're a startup, this just sounds like, it's sort of so basic, it would be a given. But if you're an organization that has evolved and has multiple brands and multiple infrastructures, this isn't always necessarily an easy thing to achieve. So we invested, and we have now achieved the ability for our customers to have a single log on and see all of their holdings with us. And we are kind of in a unique position because we have a pension firm, we have Scottish Widows, we have a joint venture with Schroders, so we offer wealth. We have all of our retail brands. We do insurance, we do home insurance, we do protection, investments, etc. So a customer can have multiple cards, credit cards. They can have multiple holdings with us. They can now log on and see all of that on one screen. And we had such positive feedback when we released this. It was fantastic. But we had a very interesting side effect from it, which was for those customers that had pensions holdings with us, if you think about a pension, I don't know how many people in the audience have one, but it's not something you would choose to log into very frequently. They're static, they don't move. It's sort of something you have to have. You don't think about it a lot. However, when you will log into your current account a lot more frequently and have a look at what's going on. We found that those customers with a pension with us, they started to save more. And when we polled them and asked them why they were doing this, they said it was just literally the visual nudge of presenting it all on one screen prompted them to make this change and save more, which is such a positive change. We were delighted with this because this is a positive thing for them and for their futures. So, we were really pleased. But as I said, we're continuing to, this is again a service we've been able to provide that's been enabled by technology that our customers really value. But something that we will say a lot is machines do the ordinary, people do the extraordinary. And I really believe that's the case. So if we think about human beings, yes, the world is automating at an unprecedented pace all around us. And this is actually primarily for the good. A lot of transactional type activities are moving away and moving online, and that's as it should be. But we know from interacting with our customers that they value the personal touch. And they value it particularly for kind of the big, significant moments in life. So maybe when you're buying a home, or if there's an unexpected event like a bereavement. Anyone who's ever been involved in being a power of attorney or involved in wills for a loved one, they'll know this can be very emotional, trying time. So we listened to our customers. We got a lot of feedback because that was a particularly, I think, broken process in financial services. It was very difficult for people to execute a power of attorney or to execute the wishes that they found in a will. We have a team of specially trained bereavement advisors that our customers can access. But what's great about this is they don't just need to make an appointment and come into a branch, which, yes, we offer that, and they can do that, and a lot of people choose to do that. But there can be a waiting time or a lead time for that. They can have a video call, or they can have a web chat. So there's multiple channels, again, enabled by technology, whereby our customers can access this information, can access talking to somebody who'll talk them through the complexities and navigate all of our brands for them, and just makes the whole experience that bit easier. And the feedback we've got is that, you know, this is something that people have found to be really impactful and really beneficial. The other thing we're looking at a lot is our branch network. And anyone who reads the papers will know that this is a very topical, politically charged subject. Barclays, I think, just reversed their decision. They had made a decision, I think, a couple of weeks ago that they would pull out of allowing their customers to access cash from the post office. They've reversed that decision. So the whole access to cash, the whole how do you physically meet your customers is a raging debate for us and all of our peers. But we have incubated a vision around branch of the future. So what does the customer of the future look like, and what is the branch of the future? What should it be? What should it look like? And we are building out and investing significantly in our branches to create this new environment within which we can interact with our customers. I'm delighted to say that one of these branches is this one here, which is Argyle Street. This is in Scotland, in Glasgow. This is one of my branches. Interestingly, 50,000 people come through the doors of this branch every month. So anybody who thinks that everything's happening online, you need to think again. There's a lot of action still in bricks and mortars space. What we've done here is we've shut it. It's shut currently for this investment and this refurb, and it will open on December the 16th. What we're doing is we're creating a completely different environment for our customers to come and interact with us. It's much more digitally enabled. There's a lot of kit in there. Customers can come in and they can self-serve, and they can have the security, sometimes just psychological security of knowing there's somebody they can call on if something goes wrong or if they have questions. They can also come in to see our expert colleagues. So we have a whole section there for business banking. We've got a home buying section. We've got wealth, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, really excited about this. We're going to be utilizing this as a test bed for the future of banking in Scotland. So I think I would just conclude by saying that yes, digitization is happening for sure. Yes, it's a very positive thing. Yes, we should all embrace it. And, you know, organizations that are highly customer-centric, they are the organizations that will thrive and will survive. But we must remember what makes us human. We can't lose sight of that in all of this. And we need to think about that as we continue to iterate and evolve. Thank you.